Yours, 1, 2, 3.
Lesson 81. Escape. When he had killed the guard, the prisoner of war quickly dragged him into the bushes. Working rapidly in the darkness, he soon changed into the dead man's clothes. Now dressed in a blue uniform and with a rifle over his shoulder, the prisoner marched boldly up and down in front of the camp. He could hear shouting in the camp itself.
Shooting.
Shooting in the camp itself. Lights were blazing and men were running here and
Ini
there.
nggak panjang, agak pendek. Kalau ini man jamak pendek bacanya. Blazing and man pendek gitu, bukan man gitu. And man.
Blazing and men were running here and there. They had just discovered that a prisoner had escaped. At the moment, a large black car with 4 officers inside it stopped at the camp gates. The officers got out and the prisoner stood to attention and saluted.
This one, where is it? And saluted, yeah.
And saluted as they passed. When they had gone, the driver of the car came towards him. The man prisoner left felt sorry for him, but there was nothing else he could do. As the man came near, the prisoner knocked him to the ground with a sharp blow. Then, jumping into the car, he drove off as quickly as he could.
Good. Ada mulai jago nih. Yeah, good ya.
Lesson 82. Monster or fish?
Yeah, fish.
Fish.
Okay.
Fishermen and
Pendek.
sailors. Fishermen and sailors sometimes claim to have seen monsters in the sea. Some people have often laughed at stories told by seamen. It is now known that many of these monsters, which have at times been sighted, are simply strange fish. Occasionally, unusual creatures are washed to the shore, but they are rarely caught at sea. Some time ago, however, a particular fish was caught near Madagascar. A small fishing boat was carried miles out to sea by the powerful fish and it pulled on the line. Realizing that it was no ordinary fish, the fisherman made every effort not to damage it in any way. When it was eventually brought to shore, it was found to be over 30 feet long. It had a head like a horse, with blue eyes, shining silver skin, and bright red tail. The fish, which has since been sent to a museum where it is being examined by a scientist, is called an oarfish. Such creatures have rarely been seen alive by man, as they live at a depth of 600 feet.
Okay.
Lesson 83. After the elections, the former Prime Minister, Mr. Wentworth Lane, was defeated in the recent election. He is now retiring from political life and has gone abroad. My friend Crowley has always been a fanatical opponent of Mr. Lane's radical progressive party. After the elections, Crowley went to the former Prime Minister's house. When he asked if Mr. Lane lived there, the policeman on duty told him that since his defeat, the ex-prime minister had gone abroad. On the following day, Crowley went to the house again. The same policeman was just walking slowly past the entrance. When Crowley asked the same question, felt a little suspicious this time. The policeman gave him the same answer. The day after, Crowley went to the house once more and asked exactly the same question. This time, the policeman lost his temper. "I told you yesterday and the day before yesterday," he shouted. Mr. Lane was defeated in the elections. He has retired from political life and gone to live abroad. I know, answered Crowley, but I love to hear you say it.
Okay.
Lesson 84, On Strike. Busmen have decided to go on strike next week. The strike is due to begin on Tuesday.
Okay.
No one knows how long it will last. The busmen have
Stated.
stated that the strike will continue until general agreement is reached about pay and working conditions. Most people believe that the strike will last for at least a week. Many owners of private cars are going to offer free rides to people on their way to work. This will relieve pressure on the trains to some extent. Meanwhile, a number of university students have volunteered to drive buses while the strike lasts. All the young men are expert drivers, but before they drive any of the buses, they will have to pass a special test. The students are going to take the test in 2 days' time. Even so, people are going to find it difficult to get to work. But so far, the public has expressed its gratitude to the students in letters to the press. Only one or two people have objected that the students will drive too fast.
Okay, good.
Lesson 85. Never too old to learn. I have just received a letter from my old school informing me that my former headmaster, Mr. Reginald Page, will be retiring next week. Pupils of the school, old and new, will be sending him a present to mark the occasion. All those who have contributed towards the gift will sign their names in a large album which will be sent to the headmaster's home. We shall all remember Mr. Page for his patience and understanding and for the kindly encouragement he gave us when we went so unwillingly to school. A great many former pupils will be attending a farewell dinner in his honor next Thursday. It is a serious
Yeah. A curious kapan?
It is a curious coincidence that the day before
Coincidence.
his retirement, Mr. Page will have been teaching for a total of 40 years. After he has retired,
Retired.
he will devote himself to gardening. For him, this will be an enter-
Entirely.
entirely
Entirely. Mm.
new hobby. But this does not matter, for as he has often remarked, one is never too old to learn.
Okay, next one.
Lesson 86.
Okay, go on. Masukkan aja tuh.
Out of control. As the man tried to swing the speedboat round, the steering wheel came away in his hands. He waved desperately to his companion who had been water skiing for the last 15 minutes. Both men had hardly had time to realize what was happening when they were thrown violently into the sea. The speedboat had struck a buoy, but it continued to move very quickly across the water. Both men had just begun to swim towards the shore when they noticed with this method the speedboat was moving in a circle. It now came straight towards them at tremendous speed. In less than a minute, it roared past them only a few feet away. After it had passed, they swam on as quickly as they could because they knew that the boat would soon return. They had just had enough time to swim out of danger when the boat again completed a circle. On this occasion, however, it had slowed down considerably. The petrol had nearly all been used up. Before long, the noise dropped completely and the boat began to drift gentle across the water. Lesson 87. A perfect alibi. At the time the murder was committed, I was traveling on the 8 o'clock train to London. Sighed the man. Said the man. Do you always catch such an early 5 train? Asked the inspector. Of course I do, answered the man. I must be at work at 7 o'clock. My employer will confirm that I was there on time. Would a later train get you to work on time? Asked the inspector. I suppose it would, but I never catch a later train. At what time did you arrive at the station? At 10 to 8, I bought a paper and waited for the train. And you didn't notice anything unusual? Of course not, I suggest, said the inspector, that you are not telling the truth. I suggest that you did not catch the 8 o'clock train, but that you caught the 8:25, which would still get you to work on time. You see, on the morning of the murder, the 8 o'clock train did not run at all. It broke down at Fern Green Station and was taken off the line.
Yeah, good.
Lesson 88. Trapped in a mine. 6 men have been trapped in a mine for 70 hours. If they are not brought to the surface soon, they may lose their lives. However, rescue operations are proving difficult. If explosives are used, vibrations will cause the roof of the mine to collapse. Rescue workers are therefore drilling a hole on the north side of the mine. They intend to bring the men up in a special capsule if there had not been a hard layer of rock beneath the soil. They would have completed the job in a few hours. As it is, they have been drilling for 16 hours and they still have a long way to go. Meanwhile, a microphone which was lowered into the mine 2 hours ago has enabled the men to keep in touch with the closest relatives. Thought they are running out thought they are running out of food and drink. The men are cheerful and confident that they will get out soon. They have been told that rescue operations are progressing smoothly. If they knew how difficult it was to drill through the hard rock, they would lose heart.
Do you want to finish or do you want to stop? It's we still maybe until 90, eh? Okay? Okay, or this one. Do you want to finish it now? Do you still want to continue 2 lessons or do you want to stop?
Until
90.
yeah.
Okay.
Lesson 89. A slip of the tongue. People will do anything to see a free show, even if it is a bad one. When the news got round that a variety show would be presented at our local cinema by the P&U Birdseed Company, we all rushed to see it.
Which one?
Company.
Yeah.
We had to queue. What is
Q.
Q? We had to queue for hours to get in, and there must have been several hundred people present just before the show began. Unfortunately, the show was one of the dullest we have ever seen. Those who failed to get in need not have felt disappointed as many of the artists who should have appeared did not come. The only funny things we heard that evening came from the advertiser at the beginning of the program. He was obviously very nervous and for some minutes stood awkwardly before the microphone. As soon as he opened his mouth, everyone burst out laughing. We all know what the poor man should have said, But what he actually said was, "This is the Pooh and East Seed Bird Company. Good ladies, evening and gentlemen." Lesson 19. Brasilia. South Brazil is one of the richest countries in the world. Much of it has not yet been developed. It was mainly for this reason that the Brazilian government decided to have a new city built 600 miles northwest of Rio de Janeiro. Designed by the great architect Lucio Costa, the new city Brasilia replaced Rio de Janeiro as
Yeah.
the capital
The capital.
of Brazil in 960. Brasilia has been carefully
Which one? Yeah, 960. Okay, go on.
Brasilia has been carefully planned for modern living. Its wide roads, which can take 14 lanes of traffic, have been kept away from living areas. Children do not have to cross busy streets to go to school. Housewives can visit shopping centers on foot, for in these specially designed living areas, cars are
Unnecessary.
unnecessary.
Repeat. Cars are
Cars are unnecessary. At first, the government had great difficulty in persuading people to leave Rio and to settle in Brasilia. Since I
since 1960.
since 1960,
19. Tadi ini 19 kelihatannya ini. 1960 dah. 1960 1960.
since 1960, however, the population has been growing all the time. Brasilia has quickly established
Established.
established
No, established. Established.
established itself as the capital of the country. The idea to have the capital moved so far inland will have a great effect on the future of Brazil. Okay.
Okay, done. Thank you. Very good ya. Halo. See you next meeting.